Okay, well then let's talk about a film that I was not excited to see at all after
Okay.
watching Werewolves.
Yes. No. Seriously.
I think
Serious. I'm over it
when
already.
we sat in the theater and we saw the commercials, the previews
It made it.
for
I feel like it made it look better than what it was.
and absolutely that's what happened. But I remember looking at it, she was like, not another werewolves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially back to back.
Yeah.
My goodness. Wolfman, we just saw this a couple
Yeah.
hours ago
Yeah. We did.
and we both fell asleep in some parts.
I just fell asleep at the end.
I fell asleep towards
It
the
kind of
middle.
it dragged on for me.
Wolfman apparently, I was talking to one of our coworkers and she was telling me that Wolfman was like this is obviously it's an iconic horror kind of villain or image or person.
Okay.
And so I knew that, but apparently there's a 90s film that she loved. And I was like, I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it. So I can't really sit here and be like, okay, it's as good as the last one. Or, oh,
Yeah,
it's a really
yeah.
good tribute. Or
You
it
you,
has
you,
nothing to
you
do
can't
with it.
compare it to anything.
I can compare it. I can, and I will compare it to werewolves. If you are going to make a werewolf film, I'm going to compare you to all the other werewolf films that I've seen, which is a short list, unfortunately.
Yeah, it
I'd
is.
love to see more werewolf films. Well, actually, I don't think I would anymore.
Really? I like Van Helsing.
Okay, fair enough. But
Twilight?
Twilight? Hey, I forgot about Twilight. I forgot about Twilight.
Was that? But is that a wolf film or vampire?
That's both.
It's both.
It's like a fanfic.
What do you mean? A fanfic?
They're having vampires and wolves fuck each other.
That's what happens in a movie.
I think.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen Twilight?
I think I saw like the last movie.
You know, I think I saw like the second or third film.
Okay.
And I saw a little bit of the first one as well, but I was so young and at the time it was like so cool to like pick on Twilight. And also it's a romantic
Yeah.
novel for young teenage girls.
I feel like adults kind of. Well, I don't know. I guess so.
That was a teenage girl book. I
Okay.
don't know. You know, there's only so many people writing fanfic online. And
Yeah,
it's usually teenage girls.
Gotcha.
So
But that's not what this was.
that's not
That is not what this was.
this has none of those elements.
Yeah. I
This
mean,
does not have a fanfic team behind it.
no. I mean, I like the idea that I like the premise of the movie.
Yeah.
Right. Where it's just like, I think it even says it in the trailer, right? When it's like, oh, what do you do when the person you love becomes a person like that tries to
Yeah.
attack you? Yada yada yada. I've seen it done
It's
before.
kind of creepy.
I'm not. I don't know. Not for me. I. There are definitely things that I liked about this movie that I think they did right. The family dynamic is not one that I cared for. They're
Okay.
just like, I don't know. I just don't really like when people like throw logic out the window, and I don't mean that in like a really weird like, or not really weird, but like a super critical
No.
sort of, you know what I mean, like nitpicky way. But I don't know, spoilers. But this guy essentially, over the course of a couple hours, starts turning into like a werewolf, and at no point does the mom or the daughter think to quarantine him or kick him out the house or anything. And it's stuff like that. It's like so weird to me,
Well-
because it's like, how do you see this man going through such crazy changes, and like you're just like, oh, like we gotta protect him. Like he'd be out the
Right.
house. Like I don't want that happening to me. You know what I mean? Obviously,
I mean, all right. So, okay, my biggest flaw of the film, I guess, and I'll get right into this since first the trailer was better. Like you said, it was much better, and it gave it a lot more justice to the film than what it really was. The film did kind of drag on in a sense, and I feel like there wasn't enough story to really make a full film. Did it captivate me enough to sit there for 100 minutes? Maybe, but would I watch this again? No, not at all. And I had a really big issue also with, I wanted to talk to you about, we can touch on this a little bit more later, but this trailer told the entire story.
yeah,
The trailer already spoiled to you that the husband, the father, was going to become a wolf.
yeah,
So I went into this film and they were trying so hard to make you have a personal connection with his character.
yeah,
I already know what's going to happen.
yeah.
I don't have to feel connected anymore. You already told me. This is not a twist anymore.
Which is so crazy to me because I feel like they did it so well. Like that was like one of the things
Yeah.
that I liked about it. Like the makeup, his very slow transition from like like
Man
like a man to
to
wolf was super. Like I liked it a lot. Like just from him like looking sickly to like even there were some things that I didn't understand in the beginning that like kind of made sense at the end. Like there was like this whole part where like it's like the middle of the night and he's barricading the door.
Yeah.
And and his daughter wakes up and she's just like staring at him, right? And he's like, "Hey, like go to sleep. You know, it's like my bad. I know I make a lot of noise, but like it's the middle of the night. Like go to bed. You know, like and we'll do it. You know, I'll talk to you in the morning."
Right.
Then his wife gets up and he talks to her also.
Right.
And they literally like he's talking to them and they're literally doing like
They're just staring at him.
They're just staring at him, and then you don't find out till after the film that like he's already at a point in his like transformation or his sickness where he literally can't speak to them.
Yeah.
So like he thinks he's talking to them, but all they hear is like gibberish.
Yeah. Which I will say, I loved that.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers, supposedly. And the mother, the daughter, and him, I wouldn't say the main character.
Yeah, for sure.
They all went into a nearby house that he knew of, since it was near his work. Or
Yeah, I think it was his dad's house.
Or his dad's house.
Yeah.
And they go in, and cool. But he already got infected beforehand, and so there was a gradual change from him. I don't know what changes him. I'm not sure if it's when you get scratched or when you have blood contact. I don't know. That wasn't very clear, but it doesn't matter, honestly. It didn't change the story. And they're in this house, and it's a slow, gradual just increase to eventually the climax where he's full wolf. But as that slow increase went, it was so cool. And those slow transitions I loved. All of this was prosthetics, no CGI.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know about no CGI, but from what I was looking into, it's all prosthetics, which is really cool. The makeup team did a fantastic job.
Yeah, they did actually.
And it looks great, but also the CGI I think that they did use was actually really bad. That's what kind of sucked. Because when he would go into his sonar mode, when they would start getting that in, I loved it. First of all, I did. I actually enjoyed it because it was really cool. We would see his point of view, right? He could see better at night than they could.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So there was a scene where they couldn't see him, but he was staring right at them.
When they were in the barn.
When
yeah.
they're in the barn.
Yeah.
And then it goes into his sonar mode, and you see him. He sees clear as day just staring at him. And it's super cool. You can even catch moments where he's on the screen, and the girl and the daughter and the mother don't even know he's there.
Yeah.
Or trying to run away from him. But his gradual transition does really, really add a lot to it. And it gives me a lot of suspense and thrill. After he gets grabbed and pulled, I think that's when he really started changing, though.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
that's
mean
when
like
he got-
I think they broke his leg or something. Yeah,
something like that, where he just grabbed him from underneath the door and just banged him. And maybe he dug his claws in. The wolf man that was outside.
Yeah.
Dug his claws in. But that was really cool. Now, my thing that I hated was the story, because it was too... I knew it was going to happen the whole time. I was not surprised once, which is fine. I don't have to be surprised every time.
Yeah.
It does not have to be a creative innovation at all times. But give me something to work with, grasp straws at or something. And they didn't, but also it was super repetitive and didn't make sense to me in some ways, like you said, right? Where their husband, her dad, is dealing with all these changes, and he's becoming a wolf right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
It's not she's talking about, oh, dad's sick. And dad is sick. He's not being himself, this and that. But now the daughter's like, nah, we're keeping him here. We're going to make sure he's okay. He's right with us.
Yeah.
The mother is not so on board with the daughter in that aspect, but she lets it be.
Yeah. There's a point where like...
There's I don't even know. I think it was after he killed the wolf, where they look at him and they're like, never mind.
Yeah. But
we don't rock with you.
They still let him in the house, though.
Yeah.
They still
let him back in the house.
Yeah.
And then there has that whole action scene. And then he kills the wolf. And then after that, they're like, she grabs a knife on him.
Yeah.
The whole time you've been protecting him.
Yeah.
You're like, that's still my husband. He's still here with us. He still loves us, right? The daughter's like, no, don't touch dad. Don't hurt dad. But all of a sudden, you gonna pull a knife on him? It's cool.
Yeah.
And then she stabs him. They put his foot in a bear trap.
Yeah.
And they are injuring this guy nonstop. They're running away from him. Oh my God, he found us. Oh my God, he found us.
Yeah, yeah.
It did that 4 times or something. Until finally, she's like, oh my God, Dad's coming. The little daughter, Dad's coming, Dad's coming. You was just yelling at your mother. No, you got to let him in the house.
Yeah.
He's our dad. He's my dad. He's your husband. All right. But now, oh shit, they're scared to death. And that switch to me didn't make any sense. And then finally, at the end, where the daughter looked at her dad and she was like, yo, he wants it to end.
Yeah.
And the mother was like, I don't even know what she was thinking at that point, because it was straightforward the whole time. And then I don't know if he tried to scare them on purpose so they would actually like kill
shoot
him. But that also, like, it was a really heartfelt moment. Stared in each other's eyes. They're working together. He's telling how I want out of this agony.
I mean, yeah, because the move, like the whole movie, I felt like it's kind of trying to imply that like he's trying to get control over, like, I guess these urges.
Right.
So the whole time you're I guess you're supposed to believe like he's teetering between sanity and insanity or whatever, or like
100%. And you can tell that because the acting's great.
Yeah, the action is pretty good.
The action, no, but also the actors.
Oh,
their acting was amazing. I think so. The wife, she did fantastic in my opinion. The main character, he killed it. Like,
I did like him a lot. Yeah,
he was great.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be like in Werewolves, where it would just be a bunch of garbage, or they just turn into a wolf. They're and then a wolf, right? No, this guy was freaking out.
Yeah,
he was like, I don't know what to do. Oh my God, it's a disease. I'm always gonna protect you guys. And then he would go in these. He would be aggressive with them.
Yeah,
and then they can't understand him anymore, or he would do things that didn't make sense, or he just wouldn't understand them anymore. It would be losing connection with each other.
Yeah,
and his face, because at some point he didn't talk anymore. In the film. But just his face alone painted just enough of a picture and showed a lot. So the actual acting in this film was really good. Yeah,
so I think one of the better parts there was like there's a scene where she's trying to get to hotwire the car. Yeah, or not hotwire. She's trying to cold start the car, get the battery going, et cetera, et cetera. And the husband's just in there with like this like. And he just looks ugly. He looks so ugly and like menacing. And she just leaves her daughter in the car with this essentially a stranger, right? Like he's trying his hardest, but like at least me as like someone who's watching the movie, I'm like, this guy there's no way he's not gonna try to kill his daughter right now. Right. And she's like just trying to start the car, and the daughter's just like, like she keeps looking back, like
she's terrified. She's like, yo, what the fuck? But at that point in the film, they were still on board with the husband. It's like, nah, that's still my husband. That's still my dad. So. That was a really good scene, though. Yeah. Where the wolf, which was the friend that died in the beginning. Yeah. Spoilers. That was cool. And finding all that out. So there was a story. Yeah. I feel like it dragged on too long. You could have made that story so much shorter. Yeah. They should have made that.
Especially the last couple minutes, like his death and all that other stuff.
That was trash. Yeah, it was just they just shot him in the chest and then, okay. And that's when I really looked at the character design. There's a lot of good werewolf designs. They didn't take that.
No, they chose like the more, I guess, like, I don't want to say realistic, but you know what I mean? Like,
it looks like, I don't know if you know the character from Batman, Man-Bat.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, it looked like that.
Yeah.
But even
it looks like a mutation and not like a real like a real big transformation. Yeah.
Right. And I'm not expecting no Taylor Lautner werewolf transformation.
Yeah.
I don't expect just to pop in a CGI wolf, right? But there's a lot of cool designs they could have taken from, and they didn't.
But I think that's supposed to help with like the suspense. You know what I mean? Because you can see his face still.
That's true.
And like I feel like a lot of the suspense comes from like you not knowing what he's gonna do. You can see in his face that he's like really anxious and he's fighting the urge, but like he's sitting there like trying to be as calm and like as well behaved as possible. So like I guess that's where that comes from.
Yeah, I mean. I don't know. I ranked this film a 6, right? That's what I gave it. Because, again, it wasn't a bad film. I'm not going to sit here and be like, never watch this film. Honestly, it surprised me in a lot of ways. The acting was great. The story just fell short. And I wasn't too happy with the ending and some decisions. And I didn't like the character design. But it was still a good movie. It still was kind of creepy, suspenseful. It was fine. So I gave it a 6. What did you rate this?
I gave it a 7. I
7, okay.
I like the transformation too much, like costume design wise.
Yeah.
And I liked the like all like this I like the subtle clues that like if you didn't watch the trailer that you would start to catch on. You know what I mean? Like
I really wish we didn't watch this trailer coming into this film.
yeah.
That would have made my movie experience, I think, so much better. And so I agree.
Yeah, because like literally from like you start like literally right after they get into the house, right? She bandages him up. She makes a one-off comment like, "Oh, you know, like I don't think this injury was from like broken glass." Then they get into the basement, and he smells meat inside of like a fridge.
Yeah.
Then right after that, or like not too long after that, after I think he starts bleeding or
His tooth came out. I know that.
something. Yeah, it was something of that nature. And then like he falls asleep. Then he wakes back up, and he thinks he hears like intruders in the house.
Yeah, he thinks he hears like footsteps.
Yeah, so he's like, oh, bro, like there's werewolves in the house.
Yeah, he's
and he
walking
opens
around.
up the closet door, and bro, it's so loud, and it's just a spider crawling.
It's a spider crawling.
That's
that
how
was
good it.
badass.
Yeah, bro, that was so cool to me. Like that's how good his hearing was. He could a spider crawling sounded like.
Yeah, it sounded like Fortnite footsteps.
Yeah,
yo, it's just crazy, bro. Yo.
And he's looking at the spider like he can't believe that that's what's making
Yeah.
the noise, bro. Like there's just like those things are like to me were like so cool. Like I have to, and again too, like that first transition that he makes when like he's all the way upstairs, right? And he can hear his wife trying to like messing with the ham radio or whatever it is.
But it wasn't any kind of English at all.
Yeah, so he's just hearing gibberish, right?
Yeah.
And like from his POV, like I didn't even realize it either until they make
Until
the,
they
until they do the POV,
switch.
until they do the POV switch,
Yeah.
and his wife is just sitting there, and she looks like bright, like daylight, right? And he's looking at her speak gibberish, right? And then then the camera does like this like cool turn, and like you
It's
and like you
dark
yeah,
as hell.
and you understand like the POV switch, and like bro. It literally looks like there's just like a spotlight on her, and that's it. There's also that really cool scene too that I enjoyed where he passes out for the first time after he gets his leg broke, and it's like the way they visualize him passing out was just like
Beautiful.
the whole house gets dark, and
Yes.
it's literally just a
And a
spotlight,
spotlight
on
on him.
Like that was so
Beautiful.
cool to me too. Like there's
Beautiful.
like filmmaking wise, or I like those, like I like that a lot. You know what I mean? Like I like those things.
There were
So-
some really cool things in that film.
yeah, there was a
I
lot of
agree.
cool shots and like cool
like it.
ideas. So I'm gonna give it a 7 for that.
Okay, so then do you want to settle at 6.5 or do you want to go all the way up to 7?
I'd rather go to a 7.
Okay. I can live with 7, honestly.
Okay.
I can live with 7. So okay, we'll go Wolfman 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Just based off the fact that the story didn't hold up to
Yeah.
what it should have to make it a better film than what it is. But for what it is, it does
Yeah.
what it can.
I think it's pretty cool.
The acting's great and
Yeah.
it's a decent film. I would go watch it.
Yeah.
So 7 out of 10 for Wolfman.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
Cool.